For our next session, we have with us Ms. Audrey Bullion, Scientific and Innovative Manager, Bioactives Ingredia. She will be presenting on Prevent Type 2 Diabetes with Peptidia, a milk protein hydrolysate. Over to you, Ms. Audrey.
Hello everyone, I would like to thank you to attend this webinar today. I am Audrey Boulier, Scientific and Innovation Manager at Ingredia. Ingredia is a French dairy cooperative based in the north of France, and we are experts in the development of dairy bioactive. Today, I will present you Peptidia, a patented milk protein hydrolysate specifically designed for prediabetes by helping to manage blood sugar content. So first of all, what is Peptidia? Peptidia is an hydrolysate of native whey coming from cow's milk produced in France. It is a unique patented bioactive with efficient dipeptide AP for alanine proline that regulates blood sugar level after meals. Peptidia is designed for intolerance to glucose, so this is as well pre-diabetic condition. Peptidia is born from research, so we developed a food-grade process in partnership with a French university. We performed several clinical studies. First of all, I will introduce you the mechanisms of action. So when we talk on the mechanisms of action of Peptidia, it is related to the alpha-glucosidase enzyme in the small intestine brush border. So the alpha-glucosidase enzyme is responsible for the degradation of complex sugar into simple sugar. We can only absorb simple sugar into our bloodstream. So when you inhibit the alpha-glucosidase enzyme, it means that the complex sugars are not absorbed anymore and go on through the colon. In Peptidia, we have the dipeptide AP among other peptides, and they have the action to inhibit the alpha-glucosidase enzyme, so to reduce the postprandial hyperglycemia after a meal. We prove this efficacy with AP dipeptides by itself, but as well with Peptidia, which is a complex matrix. Let's have a look at the scientific evidence on human volunteers. First, I would like to remind you the main risk factors to develop type 2 diabetes. There is 5 main risk factors according to WHO: age, diabetes family history, ethnic origins, hypertension, and overweight condition. In our clinical study, we focus on age, hypertension condition, and overweight condition. So let's have a look at the population description of our clinical study. We recruited 21 volunteers with glucose intolerance. We know that they have glucose intolerance thanks to the measurement of the glycated hemoglobin, which was 5.8, and the fasting plasma glucose, which was above 1 grams per liter. As you can see, they have an age, a mean age around 60, which was above 40 years old, and they have a BMI of 28, which is overweight condition. In terms of the blood pressure level, we didn't exclude people with hypertension under drugs, so they have a normal blood pressure level but under treatment. Our clinical study was organized in 2 phases. The first phase was a crossover 7 days washout double-blind placebo-controlled randomized study, which is a gold standard in terms of design. There were 2 groups, Peptidia at 1.4 grams and the placebo. As it is a crossover design, there were a washout period between the 2 groups. So one group took Peptidia, the other placebo, and 7 days after we switched groups. And they took Peptidia 15 minutes before a breakfast rich in sugar, where we measured blood sugar kinetic during 180 minutes and insulin kinetic as well. Let's have a look at the result of our clinical study. The first outcome was the area under the curve, but not the total area under the curve, the one corrected by the mean fasting blood sugar level. So this strengthens the result because we have the area under the curve between the dark line and the curve. We have a reduction of the area under the curve by 21% with Peptidia at 1.4 grams, and it was significantly different from the placebo result. So peptidase acts on the blood sugar after a meal rich in sugar by decreasing the area under the curve among people with glucose intolerance. Let's now have a look at the secondary outcome, the peak of blood sugar content. Peptidase reduces by 7% the maximum blood sugar content. This action will reduce the risk to become type 2 diabetic and will limit suffering diabetes complication. Another parameter was the insulin kinetic. The graph shows the area under the curve for insulin after the meal corrected by the baseline. There is no difference between peptidase and the placebo. We can see a slight reduction for peptidase group in the dark blue color. This is important to have a product which reduces blood sugar content without increasing insulin release, because people with glucose intolerance release already too much insulin from the pancreas, which leads to exhaustion in the production of insulin. This action is related to our mechanisms of action, the inhibition of the alpha-glucosidase enzyme in the small intestine. Let's now have a look at the second phase of the clinical study. It was an open trial, 6 weeks of supplementation of peptidase without dietary and lifestyle habits changes. This is very important because we wanted to be sure that the effect we have at the end is only linked to our product and not to a change in the lifestyles of the volunteers. It was the 21 volunteers with glucose intolerance as before, and they took peptidase at 1.4 grams before lunch during 6 weeks. At the end, they go to the investigation center and we measured the glycated hemoglobin, which is a good guide to know how well controlled the blood sugar levels are over a period of 2 to 3 months. The glycated hemoglobin is the gold standard for glycemic measurement. So you have on the graph the result, and as you can see, all the people go under the baseline of 5.7%, which is the limit to go under the healthy status. So peptidase significantly decreased the glycated hemoglobin after 6 weeks of supplementation, which is one key parameter to diagnose diabetes and glucose intolerance. Peptidase decreased the risk to become type 2 diabetic. We went further on the result. We performed a dose effect study in order to find the optimal dosage. The design was the same as before, but this time we had 3 groups, peptidase at 1.4 grams, or peptidase at 700 milligrams, or the placebo. There were 15 volunteers with glucose intolerance and as well overweight condition and over 40 for the age. If we look at the first outcome, which was the same as before, the area under the curve correlated by the mean fasting blood sugar level, we have a reduction by 32 to 33% with the 2 dosage of peptidase. And if we look at the secondary outcome at the glycemic peak, we have also a reduction by 25 and 19% compared to the placebo. So we see that 700 milligrams is also efficient on the blood sugar content after a meal. So there is a threshold of the dosage of peptidase. So how to use peptidase? Peptidase is efficient as 700 milligrams on people with glucose intolerance. You take it before meal. There is no adverse event and side effects reporting in the 2 clinical studies. So this is very important because this is a natural ingredient. Peptidase acts on the main factor leading to type 2 diabetes and helps people with glucose intolerance to improve their health. If we look at an ingredient comparison with the ingredient on the market for also glucose intolerance, such as chromium and cinnamon, we can compare the result because we are on the same population, pre-diabetic population, and on the same outcome, the glycated hemoglobin result. So as you can see, there is no significant difference before and after treatment for chromium or cinnamon related on the time of supplementation, 24 weeks, 4 months, or 12 weeks. And when we look at peptidase, after 6 weeks, we have a significant reduction of the glycated hemoglobin content between the beginning of the treatment and the end of the treatment. So we have a very good result on the glycated hemoglobin, and by acting every day on the blood sugar content after meals, you act overall on the glycated hemoglobin and you improve your blood sugar status. So in terms of regulation, Peptudaya is a food-grade patented ingredient. The patent published in 2015 protects its mechanisms of action. As a whey protein hydrolysate, Peptudaya has a clean labeling. It is not classified as novel food in Europe and self-declared in the US. And I am very happy to tell you that we received a positive letter from the FDA a few days ago for the NDI registration. In terms of application, Peptudaya is a powder. It is stable at pH 3 and over 6. It is stable at temperature lower than the pasteurization without stabilizers. If you want to have a higher temperature, you need to use stabilizers. There is a good radiation at cold and at 50 degrees. And in terms of bioactivity, we test Peptudaya after an UHT treatment, and we keep the bioactivity. We still have a reduction of the blood sugar content after a meal with the heat treatment, and it was the same efficacy with Peptudaya without heat treatment. In terms of application, we advise to use Peptudaya in food supplement or in instant drinks. Thank you very much for your attention. It was a pleasure to present you Peptudaya. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. I am available. Have a good day.
Thank you, Ms. Audrey, for this wonderful session. For our next session, we have with us Ms. Audrey Bullier, Scientific and Innovative Manager, Bioactives Ingredia. She will be presenting on Prevent Type 2 Diabetes.
We all have our routines. The beauty regime. The favourite clothes. Those daily rituals that seem ordinary to others. Each rely on very different thinking and ideas that enrich our everyday lives. For every imaginable audience, anywhere in the world. With Azelis, you can expect routine innovation. It's just what we do.